Alright guys, I got something I want to talk about. I got a lot of comments and messages, stuff like that on YouTube, Instagram, about guys wanting to lease on at Landstar or becoming an owner-operator, and just general questions and comments like that. The thing that I see the most are guys that are trying to get out here and do this, and they're talking about buying a new truck, going to the dealership and buying a brand new truck. And I want to explain to you why I think, and I believe a lot of people agree with me, on why this is a terrible idea. First off, the going out and buying a new truck versus buying a used truck. I believe that buying a used truck, like an older truck, like mine's an 07, buying an older FLD, an older Columbia, you know, an older Classic, just different things like that. Go buy an older truck for, you know, 10, 15, maybe 20, maybe 30,000, somewhere in that area. I think that is a whole lot smarter than going out and buying a new truck. And the Cascadia, the 2021 Cascadias, are roughly 140,000 plus interest, all that other crap you have to take care of. If you get a new truck, the dealers and all these guys are like, oh, you'll have a warranty with it. You have an engine warranty for X amount of miles, X amount of time, whatever. The problem with that is that does not cover a truck payment. That does not cover your household bills. That does not cover downtime. The warranty only covers, and that's when they want to cover it. Most warranty companies will do everything they can to get out of covering an issue under warranty. But let's say they cover an issue with under warranty. It could take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It could take a really long time to get that truck figured out, figure out what's wrong with it. And you guys all know these new trucks are just covered in sensors. There's sensors for getting on the white line, getting on the zipper, going too fast. Like, there's sensors for everything. And if something like that fails, the truck won't do its job. So I think it is very important that you do not buy a new truck. Especially as a sole proprietor, a single man, woman, whatever, owner-operator. And I mean single as like just an individual. I don't mean like you're not married or anything. But if you're a huge company out here, sure, go out and buy new trucks, because you can afford to do that. But the argument that I'm seeing of these guys are like, oh, I got a warranty. It'll have a new warranty on it. And like I said, that doesn't cover your downtime. So now your truck payment, that $15,000 to $3,000 or more a week, or a month, I mean, is not getting covered. Now you have no way to make that money, and then you're eventually going to go bankrupt or have to work so friggin' much to catch up and hope to God that that truck doesn't go down again. Then it's going to be unrealistic to even do it. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate trucking. And I want everybody that gets out here and does this to love it. But if you go and buy, okay, let me digress here. You buy a new truck, $140,000 plus interest after 5 years or whatever, it's gonna, with 200 grand at least. So $200,000 you're gonna spend in the first 5 years. If you go and you buy a used truck for $10,000, 15, 20,000. We'll say 20,000 for a pre DPF, pre-def truck. I prefer a complete emissions free motor, just because they're more reliable. That's when they were built better. Less crap to go wrong. You go buy one of these trucks for, say, $20,000. You pay cash for that truck, 20 grand, and the truck is paid for. That is a huge benefit when you're out here doing this trucking thing. Like the next thing that people say is, well, then I'm gonna have to put a bunch of money into that truck. Yeah, you probably will. But if you buy a truck and you do your research on the truck, you do an oil sample, you do the Carfax equivalent for semi-trucks. I don't know what it's called, but I'll put it in the description. Kevin Rutherford has talked about it. There's a smart way to buy a used truck, and you pay cash for it. That way you don't have, the bank doesn't have control of your business. You have 100% control of your business. You do all these things, you research and you do your due diligence to find the right truck, to make a smart purchase, to get out here and do this job. Your longevity of this career, this job, this lifestyle is trucking as an owner-operator depends on every decision you make that affects your business. So the best thing you can do is get into the game with your right foot forward, or the right foot forward, however you want to put it. You need to make sure that you can do everything you can to put all of the cards in your favor. So you get the right truck, you pay cash for a truck, a turnkey truck, a truck that you can pay for and you can put it to work. Okay, it might need brakes, it might need tires, it might need a few things to get it DOT legal, but that doesn't compare to the cost of a monthly truck payment, plus maintenance, plus your insurance is going to be high because it's a new truck. The older trucks are cheaper to maintain, they're cheaper to rebuild, cheaper to fix, cheaper to insure, and cheaper to operate. Bottom line, they're cheaper. If you're one of these guys out here and you got an emissions truck and you got a new truck and it's working great for you, great, that's fantastic. That's not the rule, that's the exception. Generally speaking, most guys that go out here and buy a new truck or get a truck through a lease company like Prime, Swift, Schneider, they go under. They don't finish the lease because they have no control of their business. The truck is costing them a fortune, whether truck payment, maintenance, whatever it is. And they're just over it. They're tired of having to hustle so much just to cover the minimum payments, the minimum cost of trucking. Whatever your truck is paid for. So if you have, like if you were to go into a bank or into the dealership and put $30,000 down on a new truck for down, that's your down payment. You take that 30 and you take 20,000 and you buy your truck. You now have 10 grand in the bank for repairs, for insurance costs, for startup costs, whatever it is. You're already starting on the right foot. You're already stacking the deck in your favor. So you work that truck for a year. In your first year, that truck will be paid for. The money it costs to get that truck rolling, to pay for the truck, will be paid for. You will make that money over several times. If you're doing everything right out here, you should be able to clear 100 grand every year, no problem. Clear, that means after your truck payments, or after your insurance, after your fuel, after your maintenance, you should be able to clear 100 grand. I mean, it's really simple if you just do it correctly. So, back to what I was saying as far as buying a new truck versus an old truck. The old truck, you got 20,000 in it, You drive it for a year, it's already paid for, and then you have to rebuild the engine. 10 to 20 grand depending on what engine you have. Cats are a lot more expensive than the Detroits. The Cummins are kind of in the middle. And it also depends on what you have as far as EGR, things like that, how extensive you want to go on a rebuild. You can rebuild a Detroit on your own if you have the mechanical skills for like 5 grand. Just buy the parts. It's cheap. It's easy to do. So you have to put a motor in it or rebuild it. You have to put a transmission in it. These things are obviously going to go out, but they're going to go out on a new truck as well. It's better to have your truck paid for. They're cheaper to maintain, like I said. And the overall reliability of an older truck is far greater than the reliability of a new truck. Because the new truck, one sensor goes down and your whole operation is shut down. That's the crap that is scary. That you have a check engine light come on and the dealerships have no idea what's wrong with it. No clue. Well, we got to throw parts at it, and that could take time, like I've said. So you want to get out here and you want to start on the right foot. You want to stack the deck in your favor. Get an older truck, because the idea of getting out here is you want a tool to get the job done. Just like if you were building a house and you needed a hammer, you wouldn't go out and buy a $300 hammer when you can buy one for 50 bucks that does the exact same job, that's reliable and good quality. You just wouldn't do it. But after you get yourself established, after you get some money put up, things taken care of, you start learning how everything works out here, then you start buying chrome. You start doing all these aftermarket things to your truck that you enjoy doing. And I didn't know that. I didn't do that whenever I got my truck. I got a lease purchase truck. This was a lease purchase from Equity Transportation out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was the hardest three and a half years of my life. It was so hard. There's a 5-0. Because I had no control of my business. I had no control. It was forced dispatch. Well, they said it was no forced dispatch, but it was forced dispatch basically. Because if you didn't take the load, you sat. So I was getting I was getting 90 cents a mile plus fuel, and 15 cents a mile of my dispatch miles went to maintenance. But luckily, that maintenance program was an actual, it was like a premium. So it didn't stack up into an escrow account, and whenever I needed a tire, they took the money out of it. That wasn't like that. It was like a company guy. Oh, hey, the turbo went down. Okay, well, get it to a shop, get a new turbo put on it. That's how it was, and which was amazing. That's why I decided to do it. My truck payments were $262 a week. I put the bumper on this thing. I put the visor on this thing. I constantly polished it, chromed it out. I did the dash. I did the extension. I did all of these things before the truck was even paid for. And it was foolish, because all that money that I put into the truck, I could have dumped into the truck payment. I could have paid off the truck, or helped pay off the truck. Mind you, I did all of these things for a truck show that I got second place in 2015. But that's besides the point. My whole point is, don't go out and buy a new truck because you want to be an owner-operator. Do your research. Do your due diligence on buying a truck, even if that means you have to drive to another state to buy a used truck that you found on Truck Paper or online or whatever. There's trucks all the time for sale for under 10 grand that you can put $5,000 to $6,000 into and get working. And then you can start putting chrome on them and doing all of these things. You just don't, please, okay, I'm begging you guys, please don't go out here and get sucked into the, oh, it's got a warranty crap, or the lease purchase crap at like Prime and Swift and Schneider, all those big companies that do the lease purchase, because all you're doing is paying for their truck payments. you're covering their bills and you're struggling. It's insane. So that's my rant. This little short video here while I'm trucking. It's just because I keep getting comments or messages about guys that are, oh, I want to go to Lone Mountain Leasing and get one of these internationals they got, because they got a bunch of them. But my truck payment would be $900 to $1,000, or different scenarios like that I hear from guys that want to get in the owner-operator business. And I don't know everything. I know that for sure. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But these are the things that I've learned over time. And I've learned them from listening to other owner-operators, from watching how guys have failed, different things like that. So please, get an older truck. They're cheaper, they're easier to work on. There's several reasons you want to get an older truck versus a new truck. The money is the #1 reason. Okay, yeah, like, I know a lot of guys say, oh, they're just beat up, they're just rough looking. So what? So what? You're gonna make the same amount of money per mile with a beat up, rough looking truck than you are, or as you are with a brand new truck that's all shiny and it's got all the bells and whistles and all that crap. Anyways, so what does it matter? It's about the money. Yeah, you want to drive something you like and you enjoy, but you can do that after you get established, after you get things taken care of. And it just please, guys, do your research. If you got any questions, comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Hit me up on Instagram at Nomad.trucker. You know, hit the like button, subscribe, share if you haven't already. Yeah, just please, guys, do your due diligence, do some research, and make the smart choices. I know a lot of you guys are all, I want a nice new fancy truck and it's just easier. That's, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, but it's not easy. I mean, look at E2 Trucker, FLD Life, Trucker AK, Makecents, Sammy over there, but Life on the Road. There's a lot of owner-operators out here that have figured it out. And I mean, please go watch their content, go learn, go do your research. That's it. I mean, ask them questions. I'm sure all of those guys are willing to help answer questions and all of these things. I mean, I want everybody to succeed. I feel like there's plenty of freight out here for everybody. Everyone has the opportunity to succeed out here. You just have to make the right choices, and it starts off with buying the right equipment. So yeah, that's my rant, guys. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm wrong, if you have a different opinion than me, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, y'all be safe. I'm gonna keep on trucking and get towards home. So